How many of you guys have waited to the last minute to study for a big test? I know that I've had my fair share of really bad procrastination. I've always been one to say, oh, I got more time for that. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow night. But having an effective study schedule is crucial for academic success. I was a really huge procrastinator in high school, but luckily with the support of a tutor and teacher, whom I'll talk about later at the end, I was able to overcome this. Today, I'll show you guys how to structure a healthy, personalized schedule, or study schedule, how to prioritize your task, and how to find help to stay on task. In a 2024 Education Corner article, Becton Loveless said that it is essential to carefully manage your study time on a daily, weekly, and semesterly basis. I have looked up at my planner too many times to see this and freak out about all the things that I have to get done. Let's talk about how we can break down our schedule to stay on task. Let's talk about our semesterly planning. When you get your syllabuses at the beginning of the semester, we need to make sure we go through everything and write down our due dates, test dates, all of our school activities, and our outside of school and extracurricular activities. A lot of students' time is spent by doing so many things in our day-to-day life that we just have this little sliver of study time that is built out on a day-to-day basis. We gotta make sure we're using our time to its most efficient use to stay on task with all the things we gotta do. Let's talk about our weekly planning. Once we get to the week that we're at, we gotta make sure that we're writing down all of our classes for the week. We know what's coming. All of our assignments that are due. We gotta check our semester schedule that we made in the beginning of the semester. See what's coming up. We got anything this week? And we have to add anything new that possibly came up that we didn't know about. There's so little time that is spent in general by students for studying. Like I was saying earlier, some students, it's very minimal. On a daily planning, we gotta make sure, this is probably the most important, this is where I struggle with the most. We have to write down anything that we have for the coming day. We have to write down anything that wasn't completed prior, and we have to make sure that we're prepared for anything upcoming. In a 2023 Studio blog titled How to Prioritize Tasks, it states that prioritizing tasks is essential for success in school, as well as one's social life outside of school. Prioritizing your tasks is really important. When it comes to prioritizing your tasks, we have to make sure that we are putting the most important things first and the most urgent things first. We have to be realistic. We have to know what is important, what's unimportant, and we have to think about the deadlines that are coming up. We have to break down your week, and we gotta leave some free time to make sure we don't stay burnout. Let's talk about the Eisenhower matrix real quick. This graph is one of my favorite graphs. It breaks down different categories and where we can put our tasks into to make sure we know what's coming up. We have urgent and important over here. That's the do now. And then we can see how it's broken down, less urgent, less important, and we have ways we can break down our tasks. This is very good for students to use to make sure they're prioritizing your tasks in effective ways. All right, now we got our schedule and we have our prioritize our tasks. Let's talk about our last topic today. It's important to make sure we're staying on top of all of our work that is planned so we can make sure that we're not slacking off or forgetting anything. In a 2022 Harvard Summer School article titled Time Management Tips for Students, it provides and explains various ways to help achieve this. Some of the things that Harvard Summer School talks about setting reminders, using our digital devices to our advantage, and how to find support with family and friends to make sure we stay on tasks. It is really easy nowadays with our phones and all of our devices to help set us reminders to make sure we're getting things done, and just using our devices in general to our advantage. The internet is a fantastic way to make sure we're staying on top. Of course, family and friends, of course, can always help us make sure we stay on task and be accountable. There's nothing wrong with that. In a 2025 personal interview Terry Cox, who was my high school teacher and tutor in Birmingham, said that investing the time to meet with a tutor is the best way to guarantee that productivity, studying, and schoolwork are getting done. I was one of her students a long time ago, and she greatly increased my productivity and helped me get out of procrastination. And that's why I think getting a tutor is probably one of the best ways to help stay on tasks. You can utilize your school resources and your school academic centers to make sure that you have the best resources available to you. The MTSU Tutor Center is free and available to anybody. Let's talk about what we talked about real quick. We have our personalized study schedule, we have prioritizing your tasks, and finding ways to make sure we stay on task. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Zig Ziglar. Thank you guys for listening so much to me talk about how to manage your study time. I hope that you can take something from what I talked about today and use it to your academic success. Now, stop listening to me out. I know you got a test to study for tomorrow. My name is Drew Sears. Thank you. Bye-bye.